In a follow-up to yesterday's comments from Ernie Hudson pertaining to the ongoing writer's strike, which led some fans to question if the upcoming Ghostbusters sequel may get pushed until next year, Screen Rant has released more excerpts from their exclusive interview, with Hudson elaborating on continued issues with the studio, Ghostbusters Afterlife giving his character a needed purpose, and likely most interesting, calling the upcoming sequel different, promising a new direction. Hudson, who earlier this year seemingly became slightly more vocal over dealings with Columbia Pictures, voicing his displeasure of, among other things, being left off of promotional posters and marketing materials, stating that the studio has not been inclusive and that it felt deliberate, would admit that it's always been one of his biggest complaints, but clarifying that it's not an issue unique only to him.
Yeah, it's good because the fans have always been really encouraging and supportive. The studio has always been sort of my biggest complaint, and honestly, a lot of people misinterpret it to say that I think the studios did something they shouldn't have done. No, studios do what they do. It's not just me personally. That's how they operate, and what they feel is necessary.
In 2021's Ghostbusters Afterlife, Hudson's character, Winston Zetamore, was said to have coined a fortune going into finance. And this is what's going to allow the Ghostbusters return to New York City in the upcoming sequel, with Hudson feeling that this change has finally given Winston a purpose for being there.
But Winston, I think his place, what this last movie Afterlife did, was it gave him a place to be a purpose, Why is he here? Well, he's the guy who has the money to keep this thing going. So that was good. It wasn't so much more because we do have these new characters. We're introducing new stories, but he has a place and purpose for being there. I think in earlier movies, you established the friendship between the three guys. They've already established a business. So how much do we... And I don't totally understand all that, but Winston definitely has a place. Now, how much of a place and all of that gets decided on by other people.
Hudson, who previously stated that Bill Murray was enthusiastic over his time on the upcoming Ghostbusters sequel film set, shared this sentiment regarding fellow co-stars Dan Aykroyd and Annie Potts. He also mentioned that the new film would take the franchise in a new direction, not one that he necessarily agrees with, but does think fans are going to enjoy it.
Also, as we introduce new stories and new characters, that's what moves the whole thing forward, but we're still a part of it. So it was great to see Bill Murray and Danny Aykroyd, Annie Potts. It's great to see them there and really just enjoying it and enthusiastic about being there. It's different. It's not necessarily the direction I would go in, but I just love being part of it. And I think the fans will like this new direction, but we'll see.
Now at this time, the upcoming and untitled Ghostbusters sequel, it is set to arrive in theaters December 20th of this year. That's all I've got for you for this one. As always, subscribe. If you'd like to join up with Ghostbusters news, check out our Patreon page. A link to that is down below in this video's description, and we'll see you right back here next time.
Your spine, your senses don't deceive you. Call up the guys who are ready to believe you. The number's 555-2368. But before you call, let's get something straight. What do you do when the ghosts have been busted? Is it the source universally trusted? If you got a case of Ghostbusting blues, the cure for sure is Ghostbusters rules. Jason's the guy who's doing the heavy lifting. Through room